Mr. Ouma, welcome to Across Motherland, and we get to understand that you are among the most active students of Egerton University, and you are involved in a lot of activities, given the fact that you are specifically a poetic, a writer, and a public speaker, isn't it? And you pride yourself for having won several awards. So, Mr. Omar, would like you to talk more about yourself so that maybe our viewers can get a glimpse of who really you are, and maybe they can get inspired in one way or another. So just start by introducing yourself, and then you can give us a brief journey into your limelight. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm called Ouma Bernard Hargreaves. I am a finalist and I'll be completing my undergraduate studies in bachelor's degree in English and literature. Yes, that is to be a teacher.
Okay.
In this month, April.
Okay.
So I identify myself, apart from writings, the poems I've been writing and the books, the leadership achievements, I do identify myself as a Pan-Africanist and abide by Ubuntu philosophy. Perhaps these are the key inspirations behind all my moves, because when you look to great people who ever lived, great Pan-Africanists like Patrice Lumumba, you look at Mwalimu Julius Kambarage Nyerere, and even people like Martin Luther King, you find that these people had certain things that were unique, and the only thing that brought them to limelight is because these people were servant leaders. They were selfless, and their limelight was because they risked even their lives just because of other people's success. So all this that I've achieved, be it in writings, I'm being inspired by the society, because I would want to criticize or appreciate both evils and the good in the society. Yes, so that's how I identify myself.
Okay. So basically, you have introduced yourself as a training teacher,
Yeah.
isn't it? And basically English and literature, isn't it? But we know you much as a performing artist. That is, you are as a writer and a performing artist, isn't it?
Yeah.
So maybe if we and you have tried to explain what inspires you. You are being inspired by iconic figures, mostly across Africa, isn't it? Yes. So if you combine now your artism and these iconic figures, what are you trying to aim or achieve at the end of the day as you continue advancing in your career and in your inspirations as a writer and as a poet?
Thank you. I think the African story can only be told clearly and well without missing words when it's told in an African perspective. Many times the universities and many schools of thoughts have been embracing the Western culture. But now when we are writing, we are not killing the spirits of those who fought for our freedom, for the spirits of those who made great achievements. When we write, we are inspired by these people so that their ideas never die. And sometimes I ask myself, if I don't write all this and put them into records, if I'm to die today, then after 5 years, my name shall already be forgotten. But if I leave books behind, I'll die, only my body will disappear, but I'll surely remain to be. So it's a matter of keeping ideas alive.
Okay. So, but what inspires you to write or perform, maybe poetry? What inspires you?
Yes,
Ideally.
yeah, ideally, poetry in a way is, I can say, pouring out your heart, the feelings you have. Sometimes you may think of, you know, you are angry with certain issues, or you're very sad to the extent that some people may even gonna go ahead to commit suicide. But to me, I find it as being therapeutic in the sense that when I write, I feel like I'm in a conversation with myself and I reason with myself. And when my readers come to read these, or the listeners,
They
when I
get
do
the
it
same
now
experience,
yes,
the experience that you are having, eh?
yes, they will see the experience and how I got out of it, how I handled it. Sometimes it is not just a matter of me. Sometimes I may see something in somebody, because sometimes my persona
In society, society that
yes,
is,
in the society, my
yes.
persona could be even a certain, even a lady, for example, and I speak in the voice of that lady.
I get you. I get you.
Yeah.
The persona, it is the
speaking voice
figure
in the poem.
that is telling the story.
Yeah.
So as you are trying to explain is that what inspires you is there's always a feeling that you have to pass some information, or rather some message,
Yeah.
to society, and as you do that, you feel relieved,
Yeah.
isn't it? Because that experience may not be just about you, it may be about society, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I think that is basically the foundation of a writer. So maybe if you can just try to dissect your your artistic, or rather writing journey. Yes, given the fact that I presume you are a fourth year, and you are not yet over 25 years, things like that, eh?
Yeah, I'm 24.
24, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes. So you can, so from there you can tell you are still young, and from the way you are expressing yourself, even before we divulge much into your writing or poetic career, it seems you have achieved a lot at your age. So maybe just try to describe your writing journey.
Firstly, I think during my early stages of learning, I learned in a school which was bordering Kenya and Tanzania, and over there many were Tanzanians, and they would laugh and jeer at us upon saying some broken
Swahili names,
because they are very fluent. So I would find myself now doing much in English so that I can also shine,
Sure.
as Kenyans.
Okay.
Then I therefore had much interest in English. Then thereafter, I had some interest in reading these stories.
Yes.
Then finally, when I was in primary, around
So you are also a good reader.
Yes.
Because all writers must be good readers
Actually,
also.
for you to write
Yes.
well, you must have read a lot.
Okay.
Yeah. So then I had a teacher of English called Mr. Yongwa in my primary school.
Yes.
It was a good one. Then when I moved to high school, then I had one called Mr. Caleb Odhiambo. And one day after I had written a good composition, I was surprised when a Form 4 was telling me that, by that time I was in Form 2, telling me, are you Hargreaves? We saw, in fact, we did your passage in our paper 2 exams. And in that, I got inspiration that I really
you can do even better.
Yes, a writer. And that's how it came with me upon joining the university. In fact, in the first week before being introduced to any class, I found the vice chancellor, the 2022 vice chancellor, is a writing competition. I gave it a try, and I was well listed.
Okay.
Though I did not feature now in the final list of only 5 people.
Okay.
And through there, then I was published by by a magazine at the university called Fresh Touch Magazine,
Okay.
having featured a story called A Sweet Bitter Fruit,
Okay.
which was around campus life and the relationship in campus.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it is on page 9 in this book, as you can see. This was way back
Okay.
in
A sweet bitter fruit.
Sweet Bitter Fruit.
Okay.
It talks about love issues amongst university and how people get out there to forget what they came purposely here, which is academics, and eventually into drugs and all this, and they end up messing up. And so the book was such a reflection.
That article, the story.
Yes.
The story, isn't it?
Yes.
And I can see you have a book here.
Yes, so this book, Shadows and Sunrises, I wrote this last year.
Poems from Kenya.
Poems from Kenya. You can see it's poems from Kenya, which would mean we are very many. We are around 11 authors from different counties in Kenya, from even different tribes. That's to say that I was contacted by the one called...
So you are the editor?
Yes,
you are the
I'm
editor,
an editor
of that book,
yes.
Of that poem,
yes.
Poemic book.
Yes, I was contacted to contribute to this, having done some writings over there, and they recognized.
So, I mean, are you the editor or you are just one of the authors?
I am an editor as well as one of the authors.
Okay.
I was permitted and I was given an opportunity to also contribute to it.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So, so far, you have described yourself as a published author, isn't it? Something that is not easy to achieve among many young Kenyans. How do you feel, or rather, do you think this achievement has elevated yourself as a person, and maybe your career, and maybe your social life? How has this achievement affected your life?
Well, this has really affected my life positively because it has brought me to the limelight. I am published online by a certain organization called Kwani Writers.
Okay.
I did write on a tribute poem on Ngugi wa Thiong'o's death.
Okay.
And it also went ahead to be performed in the Kenya music festivals in Baringo, and even besides other poems, which I was training some schools, Solian Girls to be specific.
The poem that you published?
Yes, that one, the one that I published online, and even others. So I work as a freelancer poet also and trainer in the Kenya music festivals.
Okay.
And
you are recognized, right?
Yes, I'm humbled to say that I have ever been, my poems have ever been #1. Yes.
Okay.
The only time we were beaten was in regionals. Okay. But we aim higher. So throughout such recognitions and interacting with very many people who have brought me to limelight and a lot of connections beyond Kenya and even to Nigeria, you know, where now in Kenya here I am their coordinator in the concerns writers, publishers. And it is through these writings that made me, I've also contributed to the Egerton University articles on their website, official website.
Yes, that news link.
And through such things that I've done through the writings and through the performing aspect, that made me win the Vice Chancellor, to receive the Vice Chancellor honor, Excellence Award in creative and performance arts. And now you can see this.
Okay. Just to show it to the camera. Innovative Creativity 2026, isn't it?
Yes.
So you are the winner.
Yes.
Out of the recognition of the achievement that you've made.
Yes, here at the university. It is not necessarily a winner, but now this is You know, when it is a matter of a race where people are competing, then
It was
you
not a
become a
race.
winner. But now this is an honor. Perhaps many people could have applied because many participate in different
Sure.
arts, like even the drama and all that.
Yes.
But you see, to be given this is such a humbling gesture
Okay.
from the university, perhaps from the general perspective that have contributed
Okay.
much more to the university.
Okay. And I can see Kenya Campus Awards.
Yeah.
What is all about this award?
So this award is not only my achievement. If you can see my friend at the gallery there, is amongst those who contributed to this, because when we joined here and with this help, we did founded the Motion Movers Club, as you can see this one.
Okay.
And my friend at the gallery there is the chair. So then he and his team appointed me to become a public speaking and debating coach. And through that, we influenced life, we trained leaders, we molded people into public speaking and different spheres of leadership, insofar as now service to comrades is concerned and nurturing them. Then, when the Kenya Campus says awards, did say that now they want to award those student leaders who have had impact on comrades immensely in the entire nation.
Yes.
Then I was delighted to be nominated by my colleagues to go and represent them. And indeed, when I represented them, I didn't know, I didn't go there to win. We just gave it a try without any fear, and God did his miracles.
What did you participate in exactly that brought about that award?
So I tell you that for you to be listed, to be amongst those people who are to achieve such awards in the Kenya Campus, because there are different categories, and this was the only one on leadership aspect.
Yes.
Then they were sending these links to different universities. All universities, student leaders get to apply and update their profile and their CV, their resume, saying this is what they have done in their various universities.
Okay.
And then you are merited, you are vetted.
According to the the CV is analyzed.
Yes.
Yes.
So then you say now from Egerton University, it's Bernard Hagris who is going to represent Egerton University, and others from different universities who are there. Then thereafter, you being voted by the entire university and college students in Kenya. Then you get to win, and we won massively with I think 205 votes.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, that was very good. And I can see another award, or is it just a trophy?
Oh, this is Poet of the Year.
Poet of the Year.
Of all, there is
just show it to the camera.
Poet of the Year 2025.
Okay.
So, of all, there is none which made me sweat out my plasma.
Okay.
As this.
Okay.
In fact,
who are the organizers?
The organizers of these are Pride of Kenya Awards.
Okay.
And it is highly competitive. Remember, the awardees of this included people like the captain of Harambee Stars. Do you remember his name? Yes, the captain of Harambee Stars. I'll tell you when I remember his name.
Okay.
There's Odhiambo, Austin Odhiambo.
Okay.
We were with Austin Odhiambo. So Austin Odhiambo was awarded the one for the star, the football star.
Football of the Year.
A football of the year.
Yes.
Yes, to say that. So then there came me, and even people like Eric Omondi were there, were being awarded for humanitarian activism, J. Modison.
So how was you? How did you get nominated to go to participate?
To get nominated,
yes,
I told you that I've contributed much in the field of poetry. They are online and everywhere. And even on 10th, on the very day that I was even being awarded this, on 10th of December 2025, the very day my poem titled Interrupted Stars was named as Poem of the Day worldwide by the United World of Literature, which I'm also a member. So how I came to this is that we sent samples of our poems and samples of some which had performed even orally. And through that, after you've been vetted, now those who are lovers, the readers who are lovers of your poems, and some who are also good listeners, who listens to your the oratory aspect,
Yes.
would now vote for you. And it was one which was such tight than any other trophy here. I tell you.
Okay.
And this one made me happy because I look forward to achieving much which perhaps Ngugi wa Thiong'o, who is one of my mentors in the field of writing, couldn't have achieved. I'm taking his baton ahead from where he stopped.
Okay. So you, as we speak, so your genre is in literature. Your genre is poetry.
So
You don't you don't write prose.
I have written a novel. In fact, it has not just been brought here, and it was of this size. I've written a novel called Two Gateways, and I'm up to publish it soon. This year, I just received
Notification from the publisher.
yeah, it is just edited just the other day by one author called Amisi Wavire, and I'd talked to Professor Pielo, who is my role model now, the general role model, because in the aspect of Pan-Africanism, who will be probably doing this forward. And I tell you, we'll get to publish it this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, as a literature, English literature trainee teacher, how can you describe now your classwork? Has it had any impact in your career as a writer?
Yes, I think I should answer it the other way, that writing has impacted my career as an English and literature teacher.
Oh, okay.
Because in other words, now there's a sense of I've become a bibliophile, a lover of reading, because when you're writing and at the same time you're reading, when you go to classroom setting now to teach, you teach it from the heart with a lot of passion, because when you're talking to a poem, whenever I see any poem written, whether it's very difficult or sophisticated or easy, I understand it because I am a poet and I understand the language of the poem, and I have molded some students of mine who are now coming to the limelight of writing. So it makes my work very easy with literature, because you'll be expected to read a lot of books. Now here at the university, now I'm reading around 40 set text.
Okay.
Yeah, because we do take at least two literature per semester.
Okay.
And you have to read them, you have to analyze them. Now when I move to the senior secondary school, where I'm only going to deal with less than four books.
Sure.
So
I
find
get
it
you.
very easy.
I get you. So,
Yes.
Mr. Uma, let us have a small break. But when we come back, I would like to be more kind of personal. Just if you can tell our viewers, with all these awards, what is your monetary benefits from all these awards, and maybe you'll just tell us how you balance your time, your hobbies, and your classwork, and all these things. Because as a writer, the way I understand it, you need a lot of dedication, a lot of quiet time, a lot of time, and also as a student, so many of all these things. Just how you balance your time so that you can achieve all of them, isn't it? Thank you.
Many people have that perspective that when you are winning much, you get richer. But that is not often the case. Sometimes these things we indulge in because we love, and we are passionate about them. Some come with money, little, but some doesn't come with money. All it comes with is just that honor. And as a budding author and a young teacher who is coming now to the field and a young leader, all I want and all I've been working to is to ensure that I have a very strong CV, I have a very strong history that is backed with evidence of
foundation.
And yes, and foundation.
Yes.
That's now on the money aspect. Socially, it has this art of writing and oral communications has impacted me in the sense that I got an invitation just last year in March to give a speech before my own role model with whom I had taken 6 years before I could meet him. That is Professor Pielo Lumumba at the School of Law at Kabarak. Not Kabarak really, but at Moi University. And also it is such that has also seen me go to represent Egerton University at Strathmore University in the field of debating. And it is in these that have made me now interacted with very many principals all over Kenya as I train.
That is that recognition,
Yeah, a lot
and
of
networking.
And I've made a lot of networking.
Yes.
In the sense that now, I think through such networkings, because they say your network is your network.
Yes.
I believe the money aspect is hidden now there.
Okay.
When now I'm getting out of school,
yes,
then there are some doors that I believe God
sure
has in place for me.
I think that is true. Yeah. So, but how do you balance your time? Given the fact that writing needs a lot of concentration and a lot of time, and also you are a student, and you also have other engagements.
Yes.
How do you balance your time?
Thank you. Balancing my time, traces back to my former high school, St. Michael's Nyarungi. There, everything is done on food, must be time conscious, and in that sense of how I've now been brought up in such environments of hardships, and you have to compete with those people who are even at the national
privileged.
Yeah, are the privileged. So you have to see how you balance your time. I realized that at night, there are a lot of time at night, as opposed to during the day. During the day, I attend all classes. I attend all my classes.
Yes.
And just what I was doing while I was in high school, by the way, I can surprise comrades that I have a reading timetable ever since year one. When I came into the university, I ensured that I formed a group called the United Brains. And this United Brains, we are discussing, it is a discussion group where we spotted those people who are coming to class regularly, those who are active, then we formed that group. We are performing well, and I think the person who will be a least scorer when we will be graduating could have a second class lower, a second class upper, or lower there. So what I mean is this: in the morning, my routine starts at 6. My routine starts at that time, at 6 a.m. Then it runs through. Then it gets completed at around 11 a.m. That is now studies. I write much when in isolation where people are not there, and that can only happen at night. So I decided that ever since I came here, I can surprise my colleagues who are here. I've ever heard of certain places where people get there and get high in terms of, partying and clubs. I've never been into any club around.
Yes.
And during Fridays, I get that that is the only time that people are far away and I need to do something, do this. So then in writing, you must be disciplined and you must be consistent. I write daily. Failure to which I feel there's something missing. It disturbs me a lot. So it's all about commitment and consistency and having that self-discipline. Yeah.
Okay. What is the themes that you write around in your poetry or in your performance of poetry? Which themes mostly feature in your writings?
The themes that mostly feature in my writing are leadership.
Okay.
And the sense of Pan-Africanism that I had told you.
Okay.
And I also even get ahead to see the religion aspects.
Okay.
I also go ahead to dissect much into the relationship issues, love issues, insofar as campus
life
is concerned.
Just to inspire and share your experiences.
And sometimes even around now the ecosystem, around our environment. Yes, I do that. So if you can see the first list of 10 poems, those are my poems, and they are on different themes.
Okay, let me just show the camera the title of that book, and just explain what that title is trying to symbolize: shadows and sunrises.
Shadows and sunrises here would mean that we have the evil part of the society, the shadowed part that is now, that we are now advocating that now sunrises, that could be sunrises, some raises, sun rays that should be
shown on these shadows.
Shown on these shadows, so that once they are shown on these shadows, everything that is in darkness now, that is in hiding now, will come now obviously to the public.
Okay.
And through that, everything, there shall be now a light. We are advocating. It simply means advocating. And even if you see here, you can see the how the drawing here has been done.
Okay. So we need to break away from the shadows that are trying to make us feel backward.
Yes.
And generally, shadow and darkness, it is something that is related to maybe undevelopment and backwardness, isn't it?
Yes.
Or evil, things like that.
Yes.
For example, corruption, isn't it?
Yes.
It is an evil.
Yeah.
It is shadows. So if we break away from, for example, corruption, from tribalism, we'll be breaking into sunshine.
Yes, we will be getting into now the sunrises. Now the sun will start shining, because even if you were to read one of my poem here, it is long. We can't read it.
Yes.
It is very long. It is my longest poem of about 4 pages, called The Bloody Tuesday, and it reflects on the 25th June of 2024. The demonstration, one of the historic protests that have ever been seen before in Kenya. So when it reflects that, it focuses on what happened before then, before that Bloody Tuesday, then what happened on the Bloody Tuesday, then what now, what do we expect now after the Bloody Tuesday. Now what we expect, what happened before could be now when we were still now not knowledgeable. Now the shadows here now comes on that very day of Bloody Tuesday. And thereafter, there are sun raises that are now coming. Where do we want, what's the Kenya we want tomorrow?
Okay.
Yeah.
So your poems revolve around issues to do with society, leadership, and what really ought to be emboldened in leadership for a better society, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. And what are some of the challenges you have faced so far in your journey as a writer, as a student, or as a person?
Yeah, so...
And how do you tackle such
You know, sometimes those who are psychologists, they will tell you that there are certain defense mechanism, ego defense mechanism, that sometimes we use to suppress or to handle our anxieties. And one of the ego defense mechanism has to deal with the acceptance, that you accept that
The
this
situation.
has happened and we must not remain stuck. I must still move on.
Okay.
And some, I can say to be now direct, some, sometimes we write, we have ideas, and how to get published becomes difficult.
Yes.
My novel, which I'm talking about, because it's a personal work, I've not published it ever since I wrote it back in 2023. In fact, when I was in first year now, over the holiday.
Yes.
But now, because money has been a problem, but over time, it has grown now to
But you don't need
capture
money.
the aspect of the
You don't need money to publish. You just forward your manuscript to a publisher.
So the challenge is, when you are a budding author, that person who is coming to write for the first time as an author in the genre of novels, let me say that, these people, they need a track record. Now you see, I was invited to participate in Raila Odinga's, now this is now worldwide, attribute in terms of poetry. Why? I was invited because they had interacted with my pieces of poems. But now, you see, it becomes now difficult when you say, here I have written a very good novel, and yet they can't see your track record. Now, what you can do is first become a self-publisher. Then after you being published, then these people get to read. When they get to read, then now you get to have such a name, and it is now through name that makes you appear.
I'm getting you. These are challenges that face most budding writers, because publishers tend to believe more in published authors than in budding writers, isn't it?
Yeah.
That is true. But according to me, the achievement that you've made so far, they should not give you any problems with any publisher.
Yes,
isn't
I
it?
will try. In fact, I'm working
Because
with
you
one.
said you published with that online journal, that literature on journal, Kwani. Yes, Kwani is a well-known literary criticism magazine, or rather website. And who is the author of this, Shadows and Sunrises? Publisher, I mean.
The publisher of this is Candid Publishers and Consultancy Limited.
Okay.
It has not been that much in the market.
Yes, it is not a well-established publisher.
It's a new one. But now with my novel, because I really believe, and one day we will get back to this interview,
yes.
to remember that this is the novel with which I believe shall make me get into equal tables with the literary legends.
Okay.
Because I believe that what it carries in terms of how it follows a life of a university comrade from from the village, then into campus, getting into this campus politics and all that issues surrounding leadership, and now getting outside there as a national figure, fighting for freedom, going ahead to now advocate for one Africa. It touches, and I think it can be relatable in any part or in any country in Africa. So I really believe that novel, it needs a slow move.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's going to be a breakthrough.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
So you intend to, because you will not be the editor of the publishing firm, but you have an idea about maybe the title and some of the themes that you want to flash into that novel. So maybe what is your proposed title for the novel?
It will really has a propose title because it's done. It's only waiting. If some miracle can be done, then it's over there. Because you can't just publish and sit there. You will also need to launch. How will you launch it? And we need
So you are saying it has already been published?
it is there. It has already been written. It's done.
That's why I'm telling
So
you.
the title.
That is why I'm telling you. When you forward your manuscript to the publisher, it is the publisher who will determine the final composure or the final title or the final text of that.
Well,
so, but you propose.
Yeah, the proposed one is two gateways.
Two gateways.
Two gateways.
Okay.
Yeah, where now two gateways is inspired by the biblical aspect of these two gateways, the broad gateway and the narrow gateway, one leading to hell and one leading to heaven.
Okay.
And now we see how characters are struggling with getting into whichever gateway which they
different
fit.
perspectives
They
of
now,
life.
and majority of them are using these shortcuts. Now, yes, now the long one is now the narrow one.
Yes.
The one leading to heaven is that those who now go through long cuts, and the other one short
I'm
cuts.
getting you. I think that title you have explained well, and maybe if I can just summarize by asking maybe what is your writing style, because I know in writing each and every one of us has to adopt a particular writing style, or rather it also even depending on the particular work that you are working on. But mostly, what are some of your characteristics, stylistic features that you employ in your writings, which try to emphasize your ideas or just to express your prowess in literature?
Yes, that's a very good question, but that question cannot be answered by the author.
It should be answered by the author.
It will be subjective. Let me put it this way.
You say the publisher cannot overhaul your work.
Yes.
And it is very wrong. It is very wrong for a publisher to overhaul your work.
Very true.
He should only guide and correct. In any case, the publishing editors should only concentrate on maybe their standards, the standards that they have put in place, maybe the number of words, or maybe the sweetness, or rather the scope of the story, but they should not overhaul your work. Your characters, your stylistic devices, they should not overhaul at all.
I get you. What I wanted to say,
Yeah.
I wanted to take you to one of we have a unit called literary devices and styles. We have style as conformity. We have style as a man, and we have a style as disconformity. So style as a conformity will conform. All writers must conform to a certain style, predetermined style of writing, a certain given genre. For example, even when you are writing a letter, the predetermined style is you must begin, for instance, with address. Then we have a style as disconformity, where you are now trying to become to be unique to, in Swahili, if it is in shairi, they will say that malenga anafaa awe na akona uhuru. You have that freedom. Then now we have style as a man. That's why when you read my works, or you read some Ngugi wa Thiong'o's works, even without seeing the name there, Ngugi wa Thiong'o, you will already know this is his. Yes. So such styles, because I'm a budding author and I'm writing and writing and writing.
They will develop themselves to come into a genre.
As people now come to read, my readers come to read my works, they will note that he has this voice. in his
Yes,
works,
yes,
and
yes.
therefore this is his. And the only person who can know that best
It is the reader.
is the reader,
Sure.
not me.
Okay,
You
sure.
can't.
It is true. It is true. We cannot know ourselves. It is the reader or the critic who will come to understand well your culture. But to you, it comes naturally.
Yes.
And it will also develop naturally, isn't it? As you continue building your writing career, isn't it? Yeah. So maybe just to finish up, because maybe we can always have another interview in future. What are some of your future plans as far as your writing and maybe your academic journey? Because definitely you'll have to go for your masters and continue in your academic. What are some of your future plans as far as your career and your writing career also is concerned?
Well, my future plan one day is that I think it's more of a dream which I'm working on, is that now I also become a renowned writer, a renowned Kenyan writer, and not only Kenyan but an African who writes genuinely from an African voice that will have acclaimed works internationally, so that we can challenge certain ideas, certain myopic ideas that has been believed to be the true reflection of what an African, a typical African is.
Yes.
Yeah, because some of us, even majority, some Africans themselves, they do not really know their roots. Yes. They don't understand this. They buy the westernized.
They don't even know about their roots and their culture, basically,
yes.
isn't it?
Yes. So they really believe that what is written by somebody called maybe Charles Darwin is true. When something is written by Ibsen and any other person like Karen Blixen, and they say that is true.
So in simple, you want to deconstruct that
yes.
that mental enslavement
yes.
that some of us have in Africa, and maybe also deconstruct that African destiny through literary works, isn't it?
Yes, and one day I look forward to creating or founding a foundation which shall support young African leaders, writers, so that we have many people writing, so that this art do not disappear by the invention of AI, which is now coming to interfere.
And that is where we were coming. We are in the digital era, and it is really taking over the physical writings, the physical books. People don't sit down and write with their pens. People don't sit down and think critically, become creative. We have the idea of AI, we have the idea of the website, the idea of social media. It is killing reading culture, that fundamental reading culture, and it is killing that art of writing and that reading culture. Do you think it is a challenge, and even if, as a budding writer and as a future writer, do you think it is a challenge, and how can that be navigated?
Yes, indeed, it is a challenge, but still, let me just put it in this analogy. Just the very way a butcher knife could be good when it lands in the hand of a good cook to prepare you some yummy meal.
Yes.
But still, this butcher knife or the vegetable knife, when it lands on a wrong person, that's to say, a thief or a robber, it can be used to kill. So all I can say, it is good. Its impact is either good or bad, depending on whose hands is that AI tool on. But to me, I think we should not exclude AI. We should acknowledge that
we should use it to kill.
We should not use it to kill. We should use it in a manner that is healthy. What are these manners? One, as a writer, you can give an AI to give you just a prompt or a certain idea, or perhaps you want to do certain research and you
It
think
should
you
be a
want
tool.
to help.
It should be a constructive tool.
Yes, to help perhaps even in a very speedy research
Yes.
at a glimpse of time.
Yes.
But we should not now use it, or perhaps if we are using it, let us give it our ideas that are meant perhaps just for the social media, but not actually being the one to generate everything. But the one meant for you to publish what shall reflect you is what you as a human being, because you are the only human being which has the heart to hate and to love, the mind to reason. You get?
So in simple, you are saying we can use the modern ICT and now the fast growing AI now to build more on literature and on publishing, isn't it?
Yes, then on publishing, you talked about physical books.
Yes.
And I'm also moving forward to the aspect that now I want to reach the entire world with my works. I may not focus
in physical,
future
yes,
these
yes.
hard copies,
Yes.
because we have, you can do both. Those who prefers hard copies, they buy hard copies. Those who want the ones which are available online, you can publish online. We have many companies like Amazon which publishes online, and still you can sell there online through the cards. So it is possible. It is a means of reaching many people far distances at a glance, where you seated here at Egerton and somebody in USA or in UK is reading your work. So I think we should also embrace that. We should
ICT.
we should not avoid that. We should embrace the ICT aspect. Yeah, at this time, at point.
But don't you think generally, if you can compare the yesteryears and especially the current generation, don't you think there is that gap in reading culture? There's no, you cannot compare it like, for example, people don't read novels nowadays. People don't read even poetry. People don't even read magazines nowadays. People don't, you see, generally, we don't have a lot of debating clubs. People don't go to libraries. People don't borrow creative books from libraries like you can compare in yesteryears. Don't you think still there's a threat?
Yes, really.
And it will affect people like you, like writers like you.
Yes, it is. And that's why we are the few who must remain to keep the fire burning. Okay. When you speak about the debates to begin with, I have a friend of mine who would be saying something at the end. I told you, he and myself, we founded a debating club called Motion Movers, and you can see even the lapel here of this gentleman is having it here. Meaning, we have those few people who must know what they have and be the pioneers. In the aspect of reading culture, I may not contrast it much because I was not there in that cast. But now, with the modern technology, it is true that only few people makes it to the library. And
also when they go online, they are very selective. They don't read those serious materials. Yes.
They like very funny things, which are trending and all that.
There is no that critical reading, and there is no that critical writing. So generally, don't you think there is a challenge that needs to be addressed?
Yes, there is a challenge, and that is the challenge. You see, failing to read is a challenge, because there is no disease as dangerous as ignorance. And that's one of the diseases that the founding father of this nation, Mzee Jomo Kenyatta, mentioned as part of the things that were now troubling African nations at the time of independence.
But we are just talking about the general reading culture.
Yes, now the general...
It is not about academic reading or that general reading culture. Because reading also, it brings about enlightenment to society. a society that loves reading
Is liberated.
is liberated and developed to some extent. Yes, and we also create that home culture and even innovative, and we also become more creative. It also inspires creative minds like you. So don't you think there's a challenge that needs to be addressed?
Yes, there is.
So you as a leading point in Egerton University, for example, what steps or what efforts have you been putting in place just to encourage writing and reading culture? Yes.
I did found a writing association called Afro Writers
Okay.
Association, where I'm mentoring the university students who are interested in writing. And just yesterday, I forwarded one manuscript which I had just completed editing for one of my mentees, called Aloken, and the proposed title of that book, which is soon coming out this month, is called Beyond the Classroom. And I can tell you that if we can have an initiative at the national level that says, let us have in each and every ward a library, in each and every ward a library, physical library with nets and all that. I tell you, Kenyans...
And the writing competitions.
Yes, and writing competitions.
And the reading competitions and the reading associations, isn't it?
Yes.
Not just libraries, eh?
Yes. I tell you, when Kenya and the government of Kenya can take the aspect of creative arts in so far as reading and writing is concerned,
it can be captured.
We are going to be great people, and we are going to be one of the geniuses at the flag. In fact, worldwide, and could be even first in Africa. You know, we could be even Nigeria, who are readers, good readers.
And they are very good writers also.
Yeah, and good writers and good readers. We could beat them if so, because when creative arts, these are fine skills, we call them fine skills. We have the fine skills and the active skills. But you find that in our country, they only focus on active skills, like those who are playing football or those people who are playing in certain games, outdoor games.
Athletics.
But now, if they can say that
creating, writing, and performing.
Yes, that annually we have perhaps county level competitions, regional competitions, and all that at national level. I tell you, people will be writing.
And then we have those award schemes, because, for example, in Kenya, how many award schemes are you aware of for creative writing?
The award schemes are very little, and many...
Even in Africa.
Even in Africa, there are very few, but there are some. It
is also putting down that inspiration in creative writing, isn't it? And very publishing, isn't it?
Very true.
Yes.
But of late, we've seen some organization or people trying to come up with certain schemes in a way that they say, we'll be giving awards on this. Can you write on this person? Perhaps now just like tributes, you contributing to the tributes of a given figure.
Yes.
Which what they offer in Kenya mostly is they will give you an author copy, and that's all. You won't see any benefit.
Yes.
That's why I was telling you, sometimes we contribute, and what we get does not reflect our efforts. People think we get money, and there are other people who benefit.
So these are some of the factors which you feel are derailing budding writers, and even now going to a far extent affecting publishing and also even reading culture, isn't it? Because there are little efforts being put in place by stakeholders, starting with the government, isn't it, to initiate some of these schemes that can inspire creativity in studies, isn't it, and reading culture, isn't it? I think that is well said. And I can see you are accompanied by your colleagues. Maybe they can, as we sum up, they can just comment something on how they are associated with you, just as we wind up. Yes. So we can start with you.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. I'm Derek also.
Okay.
By the grace of God, I'm the current director academics, Egerton University.
Okay.
And just as mentioned by my colleague Ali, I'm the founding chair, Egerton University Motion Movers.
Okay.
A club that is basically much into debate, public speaking, and nurturing the oratory skills of the young people coming up.
Okay.
I serve the privilege of having served with Bernard Hargreaves as one of my executive member when I was at the baby stages of founding the club. And at the same time, he was one of our best debaters and orators because he was crowned the best debater for a very long time. And by that, he served the merit to be now crowned as the coach, debater's coach, and also a coach for public speaking. And from that time, he did a tremendous job to ensure that the club remains vibrant and achieving the core values of the club. Okay. And at this point, as a founding chair, I'm so much glad and so much proud to say that Hargreaves is a motion mover.
Okay.
And as motion movers, what we do is we nurture, we build, and then we give the world the best that can be produced.
Okay.
In terms of public speaking, in terms of debating, in terms of self-confidence, because one thing we know is, yes, you can be having a lot of ideas in the head, but again,
how to express?
Are you able to express what you think?
Yes.
Correct. So, and if a person is in the capacity of expressing what he or she thinks, then automatically we are going to have even the problem that we are crying about being solved. And
sure.
I'm privileged to say that Bernard Hargreaves is one of our first people who have, from motion movers, scaled the heights in terms of public speaking, in terms of critical thinking, which is a soft skill, a very important one, in terms of self-confidence and public speaking, oratory skills. And as motion movers, we are so much proud. And in line to that, I want to remind also the students in the sector next space that debating and public speaking is one of the core pillars to make someone even realize yourself. When you stand before people and you have to defend what you are saying, you have to create, you have to construct a case and defend your case, then from that point you are going to realize much more strength in yourself than you could even think about.
Okay.
And therefore, if we want to better even ourselves in any field that we are, because Motion Movers is an association, it's a club that encompasses everyone, be it you are doing agriculture, because we do agricultural debates, law, we are all lawyers, if it is a student in the education profession, we are all teachers. If it's someone who is doing engineering, we are all engineers. If it is from science, we are scientists.
Okay. So maybe just to cut you short, the movers club, motion movers.
Correct.
So what informs some of the topics that you choose for debate, and maybe if you can give examples of the most recent topics that you are debating on. Are these topics, do they reflect the national dispensation, the dispensation around the university, or dispensations around the campus life, or dispensation around the society. Okay, how do you get informed on what should be debated, and how do you maybe measure that they have impact on society?
Thank you so much. For us, as I said, we are diversified. And when we talk about diversification, it means that we incorporate everyone. And our core objective is to ensure that whatever we discuss is not just a discussion, but an impactful discussion.
Yes.
So for us, we handle political matters.
Okay.
Those are arising issues.
In the country.
In the country.
Okay.
For instance, we had a debate alongside the aspect of people thinking that they should re-elect the current president because the opposition is separated, and we are challenging ourselves. Okay. Should we elect leaders on meritocracy, or because this person is one of our own, also kind of ideologically, or what?
Okay.
Socially, we talk about all the social affairs. For instance, we were having an engagement on the region being a later day enterprise, and we were challenging on the question of, is religion the opium of the people, or is religion there to shape the ethics and also the society in terms of operation and how things interact with each other?
Okay.
So generally, and I can tell you for a fact, even someone who is someone like Bernard Hargreaves is doing English and literature, but Bernard Hargreaves, through Motion Movers, can be in a position to cite the Kenyan Constitution and tell you Article this says this, Article this says this.
Yes, yes.
It is because of the legal discussions that we have in Motion Movers.
Yes. Point taken. So currently, how many members do you have in the club?
We have 1,500 members.
Okay.
Registered members.
Okay.
But again, our target is to host and be the hub of all the intellectual creams in Egerton University. And one of our, the AKA in Motion Movers is the intellectual cream of Egerton University, because we want to house all the sober minds, all the great minds within the SIGDONEC space and beyond the university, because we have been moving around doing debates, and for the record, we are
moving around where?
For the record, we are the champions, the Rift Valley competition, debate competition. We are the champions central debating competition. When we had the KUDC debate competition, we were the champions. We were in Nyanza, regional debate competition held at Kisii University, and we were back with trophies, both debate and public speaking. We went to Nairobi, UON, for the central regional debates. We still emerged to be winners. We were supposed to go to East Africa debate competition, which never happened because of the financial constraints. But again, as it stands, we have proved beyond reasonable doubt that we do best inside and outside the university, because we are not only an intellectual cream between Egerton University, but we are a hub.
At the national level.
We are a hub of intellectualism at a national level.
Okay.
And even internationally.
Okay. I think that is very good, and I think that is something that should be taken into account. So let us hear from our other colleague.
Thank you so much. My name is Dennis Isaac. I'm the Secretary General of Mombos Debate Club.
Okay.
Director also here is my chair. I would want to start off by talking about Bernard here.
Yes.
You see, there is this statement by Chinua Achebe where he says that if the lions do not get their own historians, then the glory of the hunt will always belong to the hunter. You see, lions in all their might and all their glory also need someone to record their history. And so it is really, really a great ordeal for us as a people, as an institution, as a nation, and even as a continent, to have someone who writes a story from our very own perspective.
Okay.
And that is in the person of Bernard Ouma.
Okay.
It's not only about Bernard. There are also other great writers, other great authors in this institution who are writing stories from the deeper perspective of a comrade, from the deeper perspective of a student, of a Kenyan, of an African. You can see Kasi Isaacs wrote Memoir of Boy X, a story around a comrade in love and all these issues. And so it is really important for young people to appreciate people who are telling stories from their own perspective. Even I, as a person, at the moment I'm doing my own writing, probably story for another day where we shall talk about what it entails.
Okay.
Now let's talk about Motion Movers. They mentioned something to do with us engaging in policy debates, us engaging in conversations around what affects us, probably from the national space. But we also want to take it beyond the national sphere, where we look at it internationally. We also hold geopolitical debates. We hold conversations around what is happening in Iran, what is the net effect of what is happening in Iran and the USA, Russia and Ukraine. It's not only about the wars, it's also about what is the best policies to be implemented by the UN regarding these issues, regarding that issue, and all that manner of things.
Okay.
Our end objective as a people or as an institution is to make sure that we have within the sphere of Egerton University and beyond triggered or ignited a conversation that will challenge the norm. We say that we are the leaders of tomorrow, the next generation, something of the sort. But then we cannot be leaders if we cannot articulate, we cannot be leaders if we cannot dissect arguments, we cannot be leaders if we cannot build cases and defend cases, build policies and defend policies, and all that manner of things. So to that point, I believe I've said enough to do with Motion Movers.
Thank you very much. Thank you, and that is very good for you guys, for that very educative and very articulative review of just what you are doing around the university, isn't it? And maybe just to finish up, Mr. Ouma, just sum up by just telling us, in general, which other active roles are you taking role in around the university? Not from a poetic perspective, but just generally.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, thank you very much. And firstly, I also received. So to get now to what I'm actively participating in, it is a privilege, and I can't ignore that, to be chosen among the 20,000 students at Egerton University to be a commissioner in the Electoral Commission in the Students' Union.
Okay.
And thereupon being appointed by the Registrar Academics, Professor Bonarusi, I also got to be lucky again to be appointed as a spokesperson of the student commissioners, the 11 of us.
Okay.
So then that is out of integrity, because you see, to hold an election, the sense of, yes, you can still engage in other activities while performing well in your academics. So that's my active participation, and now my general future plan is to make that day that I will finally pass on one day. When I die, on that day, it becomes a celebration of a life. Yeah, our life well lived, a life which has impacted, a life
greatly
which shall never
society.
die, shall remain to impact the society through the ideas lived in my actions first and lived in my books.
In your writings.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. And just maybe to sum up, as debaters, as writers, which academic departments have been supportive of your of your activities in terms of mentorship and just general support,
Okay, so there it's simple.
and maybe particular individual.
Now, in line with these achievements, I have the faculty, the Department of Languages, Linguistics, and Literature.
Yes.
And to be specific, we have had one Dr. Dickson Kwea who retired, was a very good one.
Okay.
He's the one who inspired me to start writing my novel after having been featured in the Vice Chancellor's Essay Writing of 2022.
Okay.
Then we also have people, great writers, great minds we have Dr. Walonywa, we have Professor Ilieva. Professor Ilieva is the author on the history of Egerton.
Yes.
And she is the one who is editing my poems and my works.
Okay.
Of late.
Okay.
And many other lecturers like Dr. Wade. I can't just mention all Dr. Kaigai
Yeah,
and the rest.
those are the aspects that I wanted you to bring out. Yes.
And
Those are some of the aspects.
it will not be complete if I don't recognize the mother faculty where I come from. You know, there is a department in FAS.
Yes.
There's a department in Fericos. The dean of Fericos, Dr. Flora Feather, has been very supportive. He ever cheers me, go son, and everything. So, and Dr. Korir, Dr. Bet, those lecturers, and even the one in charge of the alumni, Dr. Wamukuru. They are such lecturers that I can't fail to recognize in a profile interview as great as this one in Mother KE.
Okay. Mr. Oma, you come from which county?
Oh, I hail from Migori County.
Okay. Is there anything that you can attribute, maybe your creativity or your academic journey or your writing journey from your personal backgrounds as a person?
Yes.
Okay.
I just don't want to say all. Let my listeners who are listening to get grabbed immediately. They see me publish the novel that I've said, then they will see something, and I don't want to preempt.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Because we are, to some extent, they always say we are where we come from or how we were brought up.
Yes.
And what we experienced in our childhood and even in our immediate environment.
Yeah.
That is what makes us.
Yes.
And that's why it's good also to bring in the aspect of where we were brought up with. For example, your great mentor, Professor Ngugi wa Thiong'o, if you analyze his writings, they were influenced by what he experienced during childhood in his area of
Profession.
No, not in his area of profession.
Residence, yeah.
Background area, because those days we had colonialism had just come. Even someone like Chinua Achebe. So where we are coming from, or rather the time that we are living in, they have a lot of impact on our writing inspirations. So that was the point that I was trying to bring about. So thank you very much, and I wish you all the best in your endeavors. Thank you.
And thank you.